My full name is Abraham Kukusam. I work with GIZ as advisor for artificial intelligence for sustainable development. I'm also the co-founder of Institute of ICT Professionals Ghana.
My name is Kwame Osekitu. I'm one of the co-founders of Get Noticed. It's a software company.
So my name is Eko Achenkofi, Programs Manager for the Ghana Innovation Hub, and also trainer consultant with MDF West Africa. And the Ghana Innovation Hub is a project that is implemented by the Ministry of Communications under a World Bank funded program to try and develop young businesses to include tech in their business operations and their business models. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. I'm so charging this into your discussion. Thank you for patience.
Good morning, Koku. How are you?
Good morning.
As you know, this is our very as with technology, it makes our lives easier in some ways, and in other ways, there are some things to navigate. If you're joining us for this session, remember you can send comments on the event feed on how everything is going. You can send questions as well for our speakers, and our speakers are going to be introduced right now. So we have Darlington Ahiale Akogo, who is the Director of AI for Mino Health. Abraham Kukusam is Advisor AI for Sustainability at GIZ. Kwame Osetutu is the co-founder of Get Innotized, and Eko Achen Kofi is the trainer and consultant at MDF West Africa. Let's discuss artificial intelligence, shall we? Gentlemen, welcome and thank you for your patience. So artificial intelligence is what we're discussing in this panel. When we hear of that, I know a lot of people will think of movies by Steven Spielberg and things of that nature, and iRobot and Will Smith, trying to save the world with all of these machines. But it really is the new normal, isn't it? Is it a threat, though, to Ghana's workforce? And what impact do you think we can see on the workforce in the next 2 to 5 years? Artificial intelligence. Should we feel threatened as workers? Darlington, can you take this? Can you start off this one for me?
Sure. Okay, yeah. So there's a lot of statistics that show that AI is already taking away jobs globally. So in America, for example, a lot of data shows that even those who were trying to blame other countries for losing jobs, it turned out automation was the reason why they were losing a lot of jobs, especially factory jobs. So there's data to prove that. There's also a study that shows that Africa potentially could have more threat to its workforce from automation and AI. Then in Ethiopia, it went as high as about 70 to 80%. And the reason is that wherever there's some sort of monotony, wherever there's some sort of less complexity, and there's the workforce or labor can be reduced to a very, very simple or one-dimensional sort of task, what can happen is that you can build an AI system that learns how to do that task. So wherever there's complexity, then the AI system has a challenge. So realistically, what that means is that, yes, even though AI in Africa is still in its early stage, potentially based on how our workforce is, the complexity of our workforce, as well as our economy, it means that a lot of tasks, a lot of jobs can be automated. So Ethiopia was high on that study because a lot of people are farmers, especially when it comes to coffee. And even as, for example, we are working in agricultural automation and AI and building AI systems for agriculture. So you realize that a lot of things in agriculture can be automated. And so if you have a workforce that does not have certain complexity, certain digital skills, it can easily be automated. But it should be highlighted that that only happens when things are left on their own to happen. But then if there's a lot of policy and regulatory guidelines, it could be a perfect situation where the AI is not necessarily making people lose their jobs, but is actually making labor more productive. So yes, there's a lot to be done as far as ensuring that labor is not threatened or our workforce is not threatened by artificial intelligence.
Thank you, Darlington, for your thoughts on that. I like what you said about policy and not making people lose their jobs, but actually making things more efficient. Let's take your thoughts on this as well, Abraham.
I think I share with Darlington on all the comments he made. I will just add a few things. So the research on AI taking jobs have primarily focused on developed countries, and so we have to make that clear. Then that said, there will be impact on other things. So there will be huge impact on productivity, personalization, time that will save from doing certain tasks, and then the quality of work will also improve. They should rather focus on creating new workers who will focus on thinking creatively and also developing skills in areas such as building, maintaining, and the operation and the regulation of these emerging technologies. I also want to quickly add that the International Finance Corporation of the World Bank did a research focused on Ghana. The report is online. It's called Digital Skills in Sub-Saharan African Spotlight on Ghana. The report says that by 2030, Ghana will have about 9 million digital related jobs. And these jobs will range from ones with low digital skills up to ones with extremely high digital skills like AI and Internet of Things. So we should look at taking advantage of these opportunities. And this requires massive skill development. And that is where Darlington is talking about policy. Policy should be focused on developing the Ghanaian.
I'm so glad you mentioned what someone has researched and has come up with as far as where we'll be in 10 years. 2030 is not that far away. And you're talking about 9 million jobs. Are we doing enough to prepare for that, though? 9 million. Are we doing enough to prepare for that? Because this all goes back to training and education and preparation. Okay, let's move on though quickly. Kwame, let's bring you in here. Industries that are seeing the fastest inclusion of AI. So in these 9 million jobs that we can look forward to in a decade, what industries do you think are incorporating AI in their operations the fastest? And do you think because of the incorporation of AI, they're still going to provide enough opportunities to human workers? Okay, Kwame and Abraham, let's get your thoughts on that.
All right, thank you. So when you look at the banking industry, for example, you have a lot of AI in there. You look at automation of payment systems, you look at facial recognition and that kind of thing. You have a lot of AI in there already. I mean, look at shopping, for example, on Amazon. You are looking at intelligent systems that are able to tell the consumer what he or she would need. So basically suggestive cues as to probably based on the kind of things he or she has been buying for a couple of days or for a particular period in time. The bot is able to tell him or her or suggest some other things that he feels that will be needed. So basically, one of the things that is quite interesting for our Ghanaian in our Ghanaian space is politics. For example, you have a lot of bots or artificial intelligence in there where it's able to predict. I mean, in terms of elections and that kind of thing, which places will be strongholds, which places maybe particular parties will lose out and that kind of thing. So in terms of AI being integrated, we have so many, examples which have caught on easily.
Kokui, so I think that artificial intelligence will affect every facet of our life. It will change the way we play, the way we work, and the way we do a lot of things. But I then again will refer to a report by PricewaterhouseCoopers, which says that AI market in the world is going to probably be around $15.3 trillion by 2030. And then these areas will be affected in this order. Healthcare, followed by the automotive industry, then financial services like Kwame mentioned, our banks, retail and consumer, technology, communication and entertainment, then manufacturing, then energy where we have things like smart grid and all that. Then there's transport and logistics, things like smart warehousing and all that. Now to the Ghanaian context, when it comes to healthcare, a lot will change. And if you look at our Ghanaian context where we have the ratio of doctors to patients is not good, there's going to be a lot of change. In fact, I can say that Darlington's Mino Health is doing a lot of work in diagnostic tools that will help in different things like cancer, like eye problems, and what have you. So AI is going to change pretty much these sectors at a very fast pace. Now, would this create enough opportunities for workers? I say yes, they will create enough opportunities in agriculture, precision farming. People will get jobs to build systems. I think where we will probably benefit the most is how we can help use AI to support smallholder farmers in this country to predict yield. It will help in insurance for farmers because we can predict the yield and all that. But then again, it boils down to one thing that I've mentioned: skills development. Policy must be focused on developing the skill of the Ghanaian youth.
Thank you so much, Abraham. All right, coming to you, Kwame, and Eko, you can come in here as well. Well, often focusing, even now, I've asked you a couple of times about AI and replacing human function and all those things. What are some of the positives that we can glean from the proliferation of technology in work? I think Abraham has hit on a few of them, that it's actually going to give people a lot more job opportunities. But what are some of the other positives you think we can look forward to when AI is incorporated more into the world of work? So that's Kwame and Eko.
Kopi, thank you very much. From my experience, I think that AI and the proliferation of technology in work is a very, very good opportunity, created a lot of opportunities for workers. I see it more as a tool that a lot of industries can benefit from to enhance themselves and also open to more job opportunities. Now, in the sense, for example, we have a company like Uber that has turned around the nature of taxi driving in the country, and you have a lot of drivers still working. They have made it very lucrative for a lot of drivers to come on board, and you see a lot of industries like this opening up because of some of these technologies, because of AI softwares that are learning, that are improving the services, improving the benefits that we are getting from these things. I think that all that a lot has been mentioned, but a lot has been stressed on policy. We need a lot of leadership influence to guide the process, to be able to open up more industries. You see healthcare is going into this area using remote diagnostic systems, giving you healthcare service systems conveniently from your homes. As a result of these technologies, opening more job opportunities. Now you have people you can assign to homes to deliver healthcare when we have a lot of officials or health professionals at home not getting jobs. So if these kind of opportunities are harnessed properly using leadership and policy, then it would create more opportunities, more beneficiaries to and benefit from some of these initiatives that are coming up as a result of the expansion of technology and AI in the workplaces in some of these industries. Yeah.
Thanks, Abraham. Abraham highlighted a number of projects, so I can give a few examples of projects that are positive use cases of AI that you can easily apply here in Ghana. So just this very week, I just came back from Korea a few days ago. So what we were doing in Korea, so we have a project for Kara called AI. So we went to a cocoa field and then used drones. We flew the drones across the field to map the whole field, and then working with researchers, one of actually the oldest agriculture research cocoa research institute of Ghana State, were able to map the diseases that were affecting the cocoa, and then be able to identify how these pests are spreading on the farm to be able to help the farm recover. So just next week I'll be in Temali, also doing something similar for granules. And this is a project we've been doing in agriculture. We've been able to develop systems right here in Ghana that can be able to detect pests, as well as a number of issues that are affecting farms. And even be able to determine how farms can be able to use the right inputs in the right amount. So there's a limit of how much water, how much pesticide we can have and use. And so using AI system, we can tell how much plants and even specifically how much need needs. And so you don't have a lot of wastage. There's a huge issue in Africa as far as when it comes to food security. And so AI is giving us access to food. We've already been doing it. If you look at healthcare as well, we've been working with West African Center for Cell Biology and Infectious Pathogens we've been able to develop machine learning systems that are helping them understand and then be able to identify why certain kids have high immunity towards malaria and certain kids have lower immunity towards malaria. So and what that actually allows us to do is be able to come up with a vaccine that is effective towards malaria. Malaria has been a huge problem in Africa. And also we've been doing a lot with AI and COVID-19. So right here we've been able to analyze, forecast a lot of data. When we had about 1,000 cases, we said we have been about 10,000 cases. And the margin of weeks that we gave that by early June, we should have about 1,000 cases. It came through. It's not prophesying, it's all based on data science and then machine learning and AI. But then, yes, there's a lot to be done as far as the positive side. The only thing that separates the positive side and the negative side is the points that we highlight, the policy regulation, and retooling labor so that they can be able to.
If you're watching, if you're taking part in this panel discussion, you want to ask some questions, you can send those on the platform. Remember, on Who Below, on the event feed, you can send your comments there. And please fill out a feedback form. Yes, we'd love to hear from you on your thoughts on how the conference is going. Again, it's the first of its kind here in Ghana. It's the Ghana Virtual Career Fair. And there is a link on the event feed that will show you how you can fill out a feedback form so we can get your comments and suggestions and just improve upon this experience for you. All right. Now coming to Darlington and Echo, you can chime in on this as well. We're talking about how AI is helping people work more efficiently, but we need so many more innovative things and a lot more tech innovation to solve some of our developmental challenges here. You've already talked, Darlington, you just talked about the fact that malaria is still a big killer, even more than coronavirus that we're all scrambling about now. But we don't want corona to get to that point at all. And agricultural issues that I think Abraham was talking about earlier, and so on and so forth. So in order to do a lot of these things, people think, well, we need money, we need funding, we need sources of funding. Do any of you know of grants or funding sources that can be tapped into, maybe for entrepreneurs who want to go into tech, AI, any sources like that that are available for people to tap into to help support techpreneurs in Ghana?
Yeah, I can highlight a few that I've come across. I mean, this is of utmost importance to us because we've done this project for a while now, and one of the key things that we are looking forward to be able to scale is funding. So we've kept our ears wide open. There was an IDRC grant, but unfortunately, the extended deadline was just this past Sunday, and it went up to about $1 million Canadian. Yeah, so that was quite an opportunity. It was focusing specifically on how AI can be used.
Did you say $1 million Canadian?
Exactly, $1 million Canadian towards forecasting COVID-19 AI machine learning. With the ones that are currently, most of the grants, unfortunately, because of COVID-19, they've reoriented themselves towards COVID-19. So there's an IPM call for quotes, and the deadline is on the 11th of July, so just a few days away. You have two tracks that you can choose from, either COVID-19, AI for COVID-19, or another option is it has to do with climate change. So climate change is still a big deal, so that's also an option. Apart from that, yeah, those are some of the immediate grants that I know about, but I'm sure other people here can share.
Okay, in fact, I'll get input from all of you on this one. So
let me quickly chip in. There's also Skills Initiative for Africa, SIFA, that also provides a good funding opportunity for companies. So I think that's something we can also look at.
When it comes to funding, I will highlight two projects of GIZ that is supporting young people and entrepreneurs in the technology space. So the first one is Make IT in Africa. So for our followers, for those participating, please Google makeITinitiative.org. There is a document there. There is a book written by, commissioned by GIZ Ghana in partnership with Accra Angels Network called Scale Up, Entrepreneur's Guide to Investment in Ghana. It has sources of grants, funding. It's a big book. The PDF version is online. I want our followers to just go online, download this. It's called Scale Up, Entrepreneur's Guide to Investment in Ghana. Kokui, I must highlight one thing. Our young people have innovative ideas, but unfortunately, they don't register their organization. And so it makes access to funding difficult. I have had a number of talented people come to me. Can GIZ Fair Forward help me with my project? But I ask him, have you registered it? What form is it? Is it sole proprietorship, limited liability? They don't even know. So for this reason, I'll also talk about my project, which is called Fair Forward Artificial Intelligence for All. We are also supporting people in the tech space. So for instance, this year we were supporting ACLAB to do their hackathon at KNUST until COVID came in. Because we believe in skills development. We believe in learning by doing. So this would have given 800 tech guys the opportunity to work towards a certain goal. And in the process, they will learn some skills and develop their products and services. Once COVID is over, we will return to the drawing board and support ACLAP to do this. Also, in terms of policy, we are helping together with UN Global Pulse, an agency of the United Nations. So we have already done AI ecosystem mapping in Ghana, and people like Darlington were interviewed. Now the idea is to create a policy framework that will support funding, local innovation, and what have you. And then specifically to direct support, Fair Forward and Make IT, both projects under GIZ, are implementing what is called the Africa AI Accelerator. We just closed the application last Friday. 10 startups from across Africa will get the opportunity to gain technical and business development skills for free. We will also open up our investor networks to these startups. So these are some of the things I think our young people should look out for and apply.
And Kokui, to add to the list, currently the Ghana Innovation Hub, funded by the World Bank and implemented by the Ministry of Communications, has a project, an application that is running, Innovate GH. It's currently running. So if you are following, you can visit GhanaInnovationHub.com and put in an application. And there's grant funding for businesses who have some tech ideas looking for support to validate those ideas and also get access to larger networks and access to funding to be able to improve their ideas. And under this project, that the e-transform project from the Ministry of Communications, there's also the setup of an adjoining space with the Ghana Innovation Hub that provides support to tech. So they can visit either the Ghana Innovation Hub or the Ghana Tech Lab to be able to receive assistance to develop whatever tech ideas and innovations that they have for also development. Yeah.
Great. Very good advice from all of you. Any closing remarks?
For the Ghana, for the Innovate GH, their applications may close very soon. So if they can quickly apply, it would be very helpful for them. Yeah.
How do people stay in tune with all of these things? As I think Darlington mentioned the deadline for the 1 million Canadian dollars. Abraham has mentioned a few. Echo, you've mentioned a few as well. People have to keep their pulse on this. They're missing a lot of deadlines here. What would you recommend, or how would you recommend they stay in tune with what's going on as far as funding and certain applications for grants and things like that?
I think this is why networking is very, very essential. People have to belong to very professional networks, industry ecosystem networks, to keep their ears on the ground, because there are a lot of opportunities out there, a lot of funding opportunities, applications, grants for very unique innovations. They just have to know have connections and be informed and make good use of these networks.
Good advice, salient advice from our panelists. Okay, before you go, I'd like to find out from each of you, with AI, with the Internet of Things, what are some of your preferred technological innovations that you currently use? and that have become very important to you, especially post-corona?
Okay, I can start this one. Coming from a consultancy organization, so we were supposed to do a project in Malawi at Trainer of Trainers for an incubation program during the COVID period. And we had to fly our team to Malawi to execute this project. But because of COVID, we couldn't go. So we had to do a full-blown week course on Trainer of Trainers on the incubation program via Zoom, including breakout rooms, having discussions, and it was very, very, very successful. And we had a lot of learnings from that experience because we realized that we had saved a lot on budget, we had saved a lot on time, risks involved, and the effectiveness was still the same as we would if we were there. And for us as a training organization, it has really been an eye opener for us. So now from the Ghana Innovation Hub, we developed a lot of online trainings. And interestingly, we had more participants on our online trainings than in the physical trainings. And all these things contribute to the opening of opportunities in the industries. And we are using a lot of these tools effectively.
Just to add to what Echo said, since we're in the training domain, I'll just quickly mention one of our flagship programs called Azubi Africa. And basically, we have the same challenge. So what Azubi does is we take talents from the universities and then take them through a 12-week training program, after which we engage them for national service for 6 months or more, and then place them with European corporates. Now, in launching our June batch, even before, let me just go back. Even during our March batch, when Corona had set in, we couldn't have a physical launch, so we had to move everything online. And through Microsoft Teams, we were able to do that successfully. Again, just like Eko said, we were able to save on budgets as well. And it was far-reaching because a lot of people were able to come onto the platform. We had people from the northern region, people from Bronga Hafo, people from Accra, and even people outside Ghana, Kenya, and other countries. So it became hugely successful. Even for our June batch, we had over 1,002 applicants, with also PWDs and with inclusion concepts. We had a lot of about 23% of people being ladies who applied for the program. So I mean, this has been hugely successful as well. I just thought I'll chip that in whilst we're on the training.
I think both of you have touched on the fact that it's enabled a lot more people to participate on things like this, like Zoom and other calling apps, where ordinarily they may not be able to attend because of distance or whatever. And so, the transportation industry definitely they may have to, but yeah.
Kokui, also to add to it, we have also saw a lot of we've seen a lot of opportunities come up, and the learnings or the insights have been very, very exciting. So currently we are running a project with SNV. It's a green project, an incubation, an OA program, and it's focused on Ashanti region and Western region for businesses that are looking to improve their businesses using tech, and also within the green areas. And surprisingly, people in certain regions or that you might consider are not tech savvy, the applications that we received from them, we realized that actually they are more savvy with these tech tools than we anticipated. And it's been very exciting, the numbers of applications from some of these regions and some of the areas that are coming from. And it goes to show that there's the expansion of the knowledge on the use of a lot of tech tools. And we need a lot of assistance, especially from also leadership, to be able to guide this process and support people to take full advantage of these opportunities. Yeah.
Definitely. Thank you for that, Echo. Abraham and then Darlington on the innovation that you are relying on a lot more now, especially post-corona.
Yeah. From my side, I would say Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams. So on the Fair Forward project, I am the only team member in Ghana, and the bulk of the team is in Germany. And I had to go to Germany for a workshop in March, project planning workshop. I got prepared everything. I got the visa last minute. I had to cancel my travel. And we use Microsoft Teams to do the workshop, and we have been working with it since. So the good thing is that it is not just a communication tool, but it also serves as a reciprocity for documents. It's also a collaboration tool where a number of people can work on the same document. And for me, I am even sad having to sing the praise of Microsoft Teams because I am looking forward to seeing a Ghanaian developed tool like that, where our ministries, departments, and agencies will adopt. Because look at Ministry of Education. They are the biggest organization, government organization in West Africa. Ghana Education Service, Ghana Education Service in West Africa. Imagine a digital transformation project that will get them a tool like Microsoft Teams, but a Ghanaian produced one. That would be exciting and fantastic.
That's a challenge to someone out there listening or watching. Perhaps they can tap into some funding out there that would support that dream if there's someone who has a concept like that. All right, and Darlington.
Yeah, so I mentioned our project Health and Agriculture that has to do with healthcare, either for humans and plants. But the interesting thing about AI, some of the techniques and technologies that are behind the system that we put in Ghana can be used beyond this sector. So the same neural networks, convolutional neural networks can be used beyond that. Some people are arguing that COVID-19 has been the greatest revolution in digital transformation because it ended up proving all stakeholders that you cannot ignore digital. We've seen this, that the fact that we all care about data now, almost every multiple times per day, we are looking at dashboards to see how many cases we have in Ghana, shows how important data is. So what I think is going to happen is that even with COVID-19, as the stakeholders have already recognized the importance of this tool, we are going to stick to it. So we're going to be seeing a lot of data-driven decision making. Currently, if you want to decide what to do with your account, you open your economy, that screen. You want to have a lot of modelings and then projections that tell you that AI systems are telling you that based on the data you have now, open schools, this is what is going to happen. Beyond COVID-19, some countries, or let me say a lot of countries, are still going to be using this for a number of years. The same tools that we are developing now, mainly for COVID-19, can be applied to not just other infections, which is one case. We can prevent other diseases from becoming a pandemic, sort of how COVID-19 came to go. But even beyond that, the same thing will be applied like that. We want to take decisions based on how to improve the economy, how to take decisions based on how to fix agriculture or healthcare, or which sector is the most problematic for the country. You can run a lot of statistical models, you can do a lot of machine learning to be able to identify this problem. So I'm very much excited about the idea of having a lot more data-driven decision making across multiple sectors.
I'm not a tech professional by any means, by any stretch of the imagination, but I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation and I've learned a lot. And I'm actually inspired, especially knowing that there's actually funding for people who can come up with things that can solve our everyday challenges. So I think for me, at least, I've gotten a lot of takeaways from this discussion. And thank you so much. Darlington Akogo is the Director of AI at Mino Health. Abraham Pukusam is Advisor AI for Sustainability at GIZ. Kwame Osei-Tutu is the co-founder of Get Innotized, and Ekwaachin Kofi is trainer and consultant at MDF West Africa. Gentlemen, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us for the Ghana Virtual Career Fair. And hopefully we'll be able to have discussions like this more frequently and in situations like this. I think the fair is here to stay. So thank you. Thank you once again for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Do continue to browse the website, the Hubilo platform, for what else is happening in the career fair today. There are so many sessions, training, workshops, etc. you can take part in. And of course, leave your comments on the event feed. And please don't forget to fill out the feedback form. We'd love to hear from you. The feedback form, you can find a link to that as well on the event feed. We'll see you shortly.